it's Lugia, and yet again I'm gonna make a lame intro to say it's time to make a slightly animated PNG looking video. Today I'm gonna talk about probably my favorite character I have ever made. And disclaimer, it is based off my Skyrim character that I made. But he's not just basic, and he has nothing to do with Skyrim. After I made him a D&D character, and his name is Ashuin Scalebane. He's a lizard folk, and as a description, I would probably follow the same style as I did with Alurian. Like, I will describe his looks and how did I make him. Secondly, I'm gonna describe his backstory, and then third, I'm just gonna give some interesting facts and maybe some headcanon. As headcanon I explained in the last video, yeah, he has a lot of it in it. I actually used him in more than once, and by that I mean he was an NPC in one of my homebrew D&D campaigns, which I was the GM of. And as I said, he was my Skyrim character as well. So I guess that's an isekai for him. And as a lizard folk, I did not actually know that lizard folk are actually not as intelligent in 5th edition as I really thought, because I just based him off Skyrim. And then he is a rogue. He likes to use daggers and a bow at the same time. His looks is... he has two horns going from his head and spiraling backwards, and he has black feather-like hair on his head. It's short, not too long, and his scales are a mix from blue to green, like sometimes brown, and blue eyes. This is gonna be a slight detail that I will describe a bit later. And why did I make especially him a lizard folk? And as he is called an Argonian in Skyrim, I'm gonna maybe switch up the words every now and then. And as I was making my first Skyrim character, which I was actually very excited to play that game, and he was one of the races that really intrigued me. Secondly, I always like to play assassins. Like, assassins and archers are my favorite classes to play in most RPGs, as you might have noticed, because my two first characters are literally an archer and then a rogue. And continuing, I made him play like an assassin, like I joined the Dark Brotherhood, he became the guild leader, yada 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 yada. So basically, after that has been done, I decided that I will base his character in D&D after the Skyrim one. He was recreated, he was still a lizard folk, the same looks. The only difference is that he now actually has different lore, which I'm gonna explain in a minute. And one last visual thing, why did I make him a rogue, is because who doesn't like to be sneaky and stab people from the back? Like, don't lie, I know everybody likes that. So, on to his backstory. I'm gonna not include the things he did in Skyrim, because as I said, he's a different character from the Skyrim one, but he's based on it. His backstory is he and his brother, which will come relevant later, and his family lived in a quite peaceful village. He was around... wow, I forgot his exact age for the story. Wait, I have a book. I literally have a book next to me in which I have it written out. And what is wrong with me? Yeah, I have it written down. He was 7, yeah. Okay, I found the page I was looking for. Like, it's a actual book that I have all my D&D characters in. Well, not all of them, like I have some new ones that I'm yet to fill in. And he was 7 and his brother was 2 or 3. Yeah, 2. And as young full kids, they were like outside just playing. And when their mother Their parents are both lizard folk. The kids did not know what their parents' job were, but they lived quite a prosperous life. They did not have any struggles or any kind of other inconvenience, but they were not like super rich to have mansions and servants. One day, their mother asked the kids to go to the market to fetch some groceries. And what was a quite sunny, peaceful day and just a quick trip to the center of the village became hell. Yeah, simple as that. The characters find themselves after they return to their home a burning house fire. And after that day, all that remained is a pile of ash and two kids that were left without any parents. After that day, some villagers never seem to have found Ashuin and his brother Kelius. And I say "and" a lot, and I'm kinda sorry. Okay, several years later, okay, this is already headcanon, just warning it instantly. Maybe gonna put a canon on screen when I'm talking about headcanon and which was in-game. He and his brother are a part of an assassination group. They are actually, like, Ashuin is the leader, and then his brother is the co-leader in the mafia. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna say it's a mafia, but it's really just an assassination part of a bigger evil guild. I need to find the name. Yeah, the squad of assassins is called the Black Dagger, and the whole guild is called the Black Rose. Because the only reason they became assassins is because they found out that the reason their their lives were ruined. I wanted to say childhood, but I don't know if that really fits. And how many years exactly did pass? We quickly will check. Well, count 7, 20, and he's now is 23 in that world. Like, you can do the math. I'm way too lazy to do that. They find that the leader of this guild was the one that ordered some assassins to set the house on fire. They expected to kill the whole family, but, well, what can you do? Some children escaped. It's not like they are gonna do anything, right? But the leader was, well, kinda wrong. I'm not gonna spoil who the leader is because I haven't yet thought of him exactly. Like, I know who he is and why did he kill their parents, but I'm maybe gonna make another video about him, about my headcanon world and groups that mainly control the underworld of it. But that's maybe just a big maybe for another day. So he and his brother now are skilled assassins, and they take whatever work they knew, but meanwhile they like to gather information as much as possible about the boss. Of course, it's not easy work, and they have to always keep their mask on to keep pretending they're loyal servants to the guild. Meanwhile, they plan to kill the boss as revenge for what he did to their parents. When I'm talking about one of them, I'm almost always including his brother Kelius. He's also lizard folk, and okay, I might as well describe him right now. Imagine Ashuin, but instead of blue details, add red, slightly smaller horns because he's a bit younger, and instead he's not as tall, but he's a bit bulkier than his brother, and he has a sharp temper. Okay, that's basically his brother. Of course, he has other details, but this is a video mainly about Ashuin, not Achilles. And what I can tell you else about more about his actual lore, this is already headcanon over, is that he often likes to play with adventurers. One of the game I was running, which he is an NPC in, he ran into the adventurers and Well, they were in the middle of a fight, and because they found the black roses information, like in one of the divisions, after they set everything on fire, and after they grabbed some loot, of course, I'm not gonna get into details, but imagine a party of a slime earth mage, which was my character there, high elf fire mage mainly, orc berserker of course, and a ghost and a spirit warrior. Don't ask, it was a homebrew game, and it was my first time actually DMing, so you should really not expect too much. And they were confronting with the leader who was of that information group, who had an enchanted dagger. He was of course hurt by the flames and pretty tired, but he would still be an actually hard opponent for the players. He could have literally killed one in 3 or 4 turns. And I described everyone as, he's trying to charge against you, everyone blinks because they heard a sound of footsteps behind them, and they try to turn around, and as soon as they see nothing, they turn back around and they see a hooded figure. Of course it's like a hoodie almost fell over, and they see an arm just around the person's neck, and that person in pure terror as a one clean strike. And you can imagine what went on, because he just yeeted that guy's head off. And sorry, this video might be a bit long, I just like to tell about the details and stuff like that. I might make a part 2 and keep the rest of the story maybe for Achilles, which is gonna be a maybe. And editing 12 minutes is gonna be quite difficult because I haven't edited in a while, years. But I'm gonna finish off the story that they agreed to help him. Ashuin likes to have some adventurers help him with information on the boss, and then Achilles just really gets annoyed by that fact. And my favorite quote from Ashuin is, "So what if they betray us? The adventurers, I can just easily stab their necks off, like I did to that guy." Well, something of that, and they both laugh. And now a useless fact of lore about Ashuin: he loves cheese. To be honest, that's one of in Skyrim that's I always stole those big loaves of cheese and even small ones, and then in the Dark Brotherhood hideout I made a huge shrine just for cheese. I had no idea why did I do that, but it was a fun thing that I actually thought was just interesting to do. And so Ashuin in that world, and it's the headcanon one, he would probably kill a person for a wheel of cheese. He is not a murderer just for the sake of murder. If I were to describe his alignment, he would be lawful evil. He would not kill some innocent people, unless cheese is involved, which is another whole story. But he will kill people that are on the contract and that deserve die. Deserve die, not to die, but just deserve die. And his brother really is used to that fact, oddly, and he has accepted it. And that's basically Ashuin, my Skyrim character that I made into a DnD character, which is now an NPC and actually one of my favorite backstories that I have. Of course, it's not everything, there's more to him, and I might make a part 2 ever if I feel like it, but that's it for now. And as usual, you know the drill, leave a comment, subscribe, and of course tell me your best moments you think of a rogue you had, or your friend had, or you were in a party and a rogue did something interesting. Tell me what's the most interesting thing you do. I would like to read some more stories about that, and I will see you in the next video, which is probably gonna be about the druid, but it's gonna probably be a short one, but I will see you next time. Goodbye.